Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Sonia and today we're going to be discussing infertility, and I'm going to share with you a little of my story of infertility and my IVF experience. So if you are interested, definitely listen and you make a comment or press the like button. And if you want to hear part B of this series, this is a two-part series. So this first one is talking about infertility and part B is talking about endometriosis. You don't want to miss out, so definitely subscribe so that you're notified of my next video. Parenthood is a significant event and we all think that we're going to be one at some stage. Sometimes life throws funny things at us and we end up either being one or finding it difficult to conceive. And that's where I found myself probably like 26 years ago. And you think, wow, that's a long time ago. Why should I listen to her? Things are still the same. People are still infertile. People are still having problems falling pregnant. Assisted reproductive technology is what helped me achieve pregnancy, but not when you think so. Okay, so what is infertility? Infertility is the inability to conceive and fall pregnant with 12 months of unprotected sexual intercourse. So that means stopping all contraception and being intentional about trying to achieve a pregnancy. And after 12 months, if nothing happens, it's considered that you're infertile, and because most couples will conceive within about 3 months of actively trying. So after 3 months, you're either not doing it right, your timing's bad, or you got no idea, but definitely after 12 months there's an issue. So you need to seek help if it's 12 months or more. Now that changes if you are older than about 33. Women sort of reach a peak in their ability. Do you like my sleeves? They're cute, aren't they? Look, big woofy sleeves. Pretty little bits. Look. It's a Zara top. Isn't it cute? I love it. So 33, getting back to 33 is where, like a cliff, where fertility for women every year then after seems to drop. It will get more difficult for you to achieve a pregnancy. That is what it is. Men, you think that you've got it good, that your sperm are great forever. Well, no, studies actually show you still have plenty of sperm and you can achieve pregnancy, but the genetic material's not quite as good after the age of 40 for men than it was earlier. So women sort of get to 33 and sort of drop down. Men get to about 40 and then sort of just have a mound and go down. So it's not so dramatic for men, I guess, but yeah, definitely for women. So if you're 33 in that age group, you're trying to get pregnant and conceive, it's not happening, don't wait a year. Wait 6 months. If it's not happened, go and see someone. And I mean, go and see a specialist. Go to your GP, get a referral to a specialist and go see them. Okay, so got that sorted. So when do you get help? After 12 months of not falling pregnant, and if you're over the age of 33, after 6 months. There's a few reasons why pregnancy doesn't occur. So what needs to happen for pregnancy to occur? Okay, so let's look at some things. A woman's body must release an egg from one of her ovaries. So that's a must. If you don't have an egg, you don't get pregnant. You need an egg. A man's sperm must join with the egg along the way, and this is called fertilization. So fertilization happens in your fallopian tubes, and then the fertilized egg must go through the fallopian tubes and towards the uterus. And the last one is the fertilized egg needs to attach to the inside of the uterine wall and grow. And that is pregnancy. So infertility is a problem with any of those steps. And it can be from the female, it can be from the male, or it can be a combo deal, which is actually a nicer deal if both of you got issues, because I don't know, it feels a bit overwhelming when it's just you who has the issue of being the problem in a relationship. So just from experience, I know that when my husband was told that his sperm could swim faster, it was like, phew. I felt like it was something that he could do and concentrate on and just take the pressure off me. So, just be aware that, we don't like to blame each other, and this is the stresses that start to develop within relationships. That's why, being infertile or trying to achieve pregnancy, messes with your head, messes with your relationship. You got to have really good communication happening during that time. So what happened with me? Well, I obviously have 2 children. Spoiler. How did I get them? Number 1 son went to see about infertility because we hadn't fallen pregnant. 12 months, doing it when we should be doing it, being intentional, nothing happened. Went to see someone. Husband got sperm tested, I got blood tests, we got given a script for Clomid to start on, next cycle. And guess what? I fell pregnant. It was like, yes, I do not have to go down the IVF track. Yay! So 10 months later, we had a baby boy. And that was our son. And that's 25 years ago. And then, after he was about 1, we thought, we had a few troubles before. We might as well start trying to get pregnant and see what happens. And nothing happened. And we weren't too, perturbed because there would have been a short gap, and how we like to plan our lives. And anyway, during that time we relocated, and I so happened to actually work for an IVF company in Tasmania. And it was the only one in the state. And I didn't feel like divulging my personal information and spreading my legs for the obstetrician, gynae guys that I worked with and all the staff. So I didn't say anything to them, but when I was with clients and, they were devastated because they hadn't achieved a pregnancy this cycle, I could somehow relate to them because even though I wasn't actively in treatment, I was having difficulty myself falling pregnant. So what did I do? When we moved back to Queensland, I went and saw a specialist at Queensland IVF, had a laparoscopy. Guess what? Endometriosis. Lots of it. Oh, great. Okay, so what we had to do was get rid of the endometriosis. So I had big surgery, few hours on the table, endometrius removed. My appendix and fallopian tube on the right side were indistinguishable. They were taken as well. And when I woke up, I found out that I only now had a left ovary. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to I couldn't get pregnant before. How am I going to get pregnant now with just one side, releasing eggs every month? Like, who says, Anyway, I knew that I would have to have IVF, full stimulated cycle, and that's what happened. So I did that. I did a full stimulated cycle. I had the Cineral nasal spray. I had injections. I had to self-inject, which wasn't a problem. I'm a health professional. I just, it's into subcutaneous fat. It's fine. I even gave myself the intramuscular one as well. I know, I'm brave, right? Anyway, I had some good eggs that showed up on ultrasound, and I went for egg pickup, and during that time I had something called GIFT, which was the combination of my husband's fresh sperm and my egg. One of my eggs popped back into my fallopian tube, and hopefully that they would join together and become an embryo and float down into my uterus. Well, I felt I was pregnant 10 days later after that. I had sore breasts. I thought I was pregnant. I was getting excited. But guess what? I got my periods. And I was so sad. And I just said to my husband, well, it looks like that this isn't going to happen for us. and we might just need to be happy with our one son. And during this time, people are saying to us, my husband is in a role that, we're in front of a lot of people and they want to know about you and think they have the right to actually ask, or say things like, if you don't have another child, your son's going to be spoiled. Why aren't you having another child? There's years. Daniel's getting older. And so they would say things like this, and they didn't know that we were actively trying, that I was going through, lots of surgery, laparoscopies, and drugs, and IVF cycle to actually achieve a pregnancy. They didn't know. In the end, I actually said, we're having a few problems with the plumbing work. So, and do you know what? Word got around and nobody ever asked again. It was the best thing that I ever said. So if you're having troubles achieving a pregnancy and people are saying things and it's starting to affect you, just say that you're having difficulty and they will back off. They did. And so what happened was a few months later, when my body had returned to somewhat normal, we decided I still had some embryos that had been frozen at the time of egg pickup. They'd been fertilized with my husband's sperm and then frozen. And so I thought, well, I might as well use them up and then we're done. That's it after that. So we organised an embryo transfer. It was on my normal cycle. This is called a frozen cycle. And I had them transferred, and it's much like it's a lot like a pap smear. Legs were up in stirrups, a speculum, a tiny little fine catheter is inserted up into your vagina and through your cervix into your uterus, and the embryos that have been thawed are placed into your uterus to take to your uterine wall. So while the IVF dude's down below there, he's saying, Sonia, what are you going to do if this doesn't work? You make such beautiful children. I'm thinking, well, I've only got one. And I said, look, if this doesn't work, it's okay. I've got one child. I'm happy with one child. I'm fortunate that I have one. I don't need more. And I said, I just won't be doing another cycle of IVF. And he said, oh, okay. Anyway, we better hope this works. And I said, yeah, well, if it does, by then I was pretty blasé. I was using up my embryos that were stored, and then it was going to be nothing after that. Anyway, I went away. I went to a barbecue after that, and it was like, if it happens, it happens. And guess what? It happened. We have a daughter who turns 21 at the end of this year, and it was such a relief to be pregnant, and we were so happy and felt so blessed. Was it a stressful time doing all this? Yes, it was. The surgery, the drugs, the finances, the hospital visits, and I'm a health professional. So it's not easy. It becomes expensive, it becomes stressful and emotional, and it impacts those around you and your immediate little family. Your husband and your relationship and how you view your sexual relationship together. These are all impacted by infertility. So I hope that if you're struggling with infertility, that you seek help and that you can achieve a pregnancy. And, I do have part B of this particular series, and it is talking about endometriosis. So if you want to hear more about endometriosis and what that means and how it's treated, then definitely subscribe so that you're notified of my next video, and I look forward to seeing you then. So bye for now.